One of the key foundations of well-being is a sense of connection. And when you lose that sense of connection, it has significant impacts on your physical and mental well-being.
And that's why we see loneliness as a real public health priority. So we wanted to engage the community to get a better understanding of what makes people lonely or not lonely in Tower Hamlets.
And to explore what we could do about it.
We were asked to engage with local people, to tell those stories that give us a deeper understanding of what loneliness is like. What does it feel like? What does it look like? Where do we find it? What are the factors that impact on the individual or the group that make them lonelier or less lonely?
They were telling us exactly their stories, so what it meant to be lonely, what services that they like that helps break away that loneliness.
We use an approach called participatory appraisal. Participatory appraisal values local people as experts on their own lives by giving them an opportunity to have a voice in the issues and concerns of their lives. What is it about living here that makes a difference?
We went to local community groups, we went to Idea Store.
We went to lunch clubs, we went to the mosque, we went to the Alzheimer's Cafe.
We did some interviews, and as we were talking to the communities, we were just finding out what are their issues. I remember one of the individuals that we spoke to, she was saying, you know, when someone comes to her door just to give the Meals on Wheels, that made her happy because she could ask someone how they were. Or just the community cafe that they met once a week. For them, it just brightened their day up. It's amazing because you think, that's nothing for us.
With me, it came totally unexpectedly. I was living okay. And then this sadness hit me, and then 3 or 4 months later I fell and broke my hip. I was even sadder then. So I knew it was people I needed.
When I first met Philip, he was in bed, he was bedridden, been in the home since 1999, no visitors.
He ate in his bed, he slept in his bed, he was just kind of in his bedroom for everything.
I just walk in and see so many people who don't have visitors, who don't have people coming to see them. All they're seeing is the carer.
Action on Loneliness was a project that wanted to address loneliness in care homes. And what we wanted to do was bring in local volunteers who perhaps studied or worked or lived in the local area and really open the doors of the care home and bring the community in.
They were lovely, lovely people. Young people, obviously. Young compared to the ones we've had in the past. Young compared to the age of our residents. So it was like a breath of fresh air.
We found out bits of information about the residents and bits of information about the volunteers, and then Magic Me staff matched up volunteers and residents, and lots of different wonderful relationships came out of this.
I do remember that that I wrote that I like doing crosswords, and Betty also really likes doing crosswords, so...
One across, a wood smoothing tool. Can you give a name
wood
to that?
smoothing tool.
Magic Me is a creative organisation, and so when we were training volunteers, we really encouraged them to think creatively, bringing iPads in or creating Spotify playlists of music that residents said that they liked, perhaps props and things that could be used to talk about.
They come with something totally different. They're not talking about, are you ready to eat? Are you this?
One of the care staff on my very third visit, she just took me aside and said they couldn't believe the transformation. And she literally said, he's gone from down there to right up there.
They put their 100% when they come here. Even in crisis situations, they've just been so calm. They've brought a calmness to the home.
I've taken over the relationship with the volunteers as Magic Me has stepped back, and we are trying to support the volunteers to continue to try new things with the residents and help them to develop and continue to provide that valued support.
There is so much energy in this community, and small connections can make a big difference. One of the things that we've really learned from this project is how deeply loneliness affects people's lives.
It's not something that you can say it belongs to one community. It's something that all the services need to be aware of.
We're an island full of 60, 70 million people, and yet the statistics show all of us just how devastating loneliness is, and we can all make that difference.
We need action, and they need not be big actions. We have assets in our community that can make a huge difference. If we use them intelligently and socially, networking with people who can make a difference, we can move on to everyone thinking, the individual thinking, what can I do about loneliness?
Things like this project made a difference, so more participation, more going out to communities, more having conversations with people. We don't talk enough to other people. More projects that allow people just to meet naturally.
There is a lot of help and comfort out there, and it was nice to know this was being tapped into.
We're just getting to understand the roots of loneliness in our community so we can work better to help tackle its foundations and create a happier, more resilient place.